Here's how to avoid ruining your body during Ramadan. So there are 2 Ramadans where I actually lost muscle, which were 2010 and 2012. And there were 2 Ramadans where I actually got fat, which were 2017 and 2021. So the big mistake I made that caused me to lose muscle in 2010 and 2012 was the fact that I wasn't eating enough protein. I thought that the fasting was just going to magically only make me lose fat because I read some article online that said that my body was going to prefer fat burning, even though studies actually show that when you fast, you have a greater risk of losing muscle if you don't hit enough protein and you don't train properly. And also in 2010, I just didn't even work out at all. And even though in 2012, I worked out 3 times a week, because I wasn't eating enough protein, I lost about 20 pounds, but half of the weight I lost was muscle. So I really only lost 10 pounds of fat, which is still pretty good for Ramadan. But again, I was a kid back then, so it was easy to lose weight versus now it's a little bit harder. So if you want to learn from my mistakes and avoid making that same painful mistake, make sure you get enough protein, which is 1 gram per pound in body weight in protein a day. If you're somebody who's, very obese and you're far above 200 pounds, then you can stick with 200 grams of protein a day. Should be sufficient for a man who's like 280 or 350 pounds or 400 pounds. Usually 200 is going to be sufficient. 150 is usually sufficient for a woman, even if you're north of 250 pounds. However, there are some people like myself who actually need more protein than that. So I usually go for 250 to 350 grams of protein a day because that's just my genetics. My body doesn't really utilize protein as easily as some other people, whereas I know other people who weigh the same as me who only need like 150 grams of protein. So it is individualized, but a gram per pound in body weight protein per day is a good place to start, inshallah. Now, what caused me to gain fat during Ramadan 2017 and Ramadan 2021? Well, in Ramadan 2017, I thought that I could do the keto thing and I would magically lose fat because I had read a bunch of articles that, hey, if you do keto, even if you eat in a calorie surplus, you'll still lose weight because your insulin levels are low because you're not eating carbs. And I was like, cool, I'll stack that with fasting in Ramadan, I'll lose weight. Now, back then I used to do these different meal preps. So what I would do was I would actually go and I did this keto meal prep where I actually went to the local Middle Eastern market and I literally bought a giant platter of kebabs, and they were like these fatty kebabs because obviously like if you make kebabs yourself with lean meat, it's going to be lean. But if you go to the store, they're going to use fatty meats because they're cheaper and because they taste better because they have more fat. So I bought this giant platter of fatty kebabs and I was having kebabs every night for iftar. Now my digestion got absolutely wrecked. I was eating so much fat that I was just bloated all the time, even though in 2017 my digestive system was a lot less sensitive to like getting bloated. It was one of the first times I got super bloated and gassy just from eating excess, red meat kebabs. And I'm not even sensitive to red meat. I can eat red meat pretty frequently, but it's really the fats and whatever other additives they were putting in it that were causing me to get really bloated. Now, because I was eating so many calories from fat, I actually gained body fat during that Ramadan. Now, alhamdulillah, I was lean before Ramadan that Ramadan, and even after gaining 5 pounds that Ramadan, I still had a 6-pack, but I did gain 5 pounds of body fat. And even though I got stronger that Ramadan and I gained a little bit of muscle, most of what I gained was fat, and I had to then lose it after Ramadan. Now, 2021 was not as nice as 2017 because I went into that Ramadan a little bit less lean, and I was traveling, and again, I was just eating excessive calories, and even though I was training 3 days a week, which is what I usually do in Ramadan, I scaled back my training intensity so I have more time to focus on Ibadah. What ended up happening was because I was eating too many calories, and the travel really didn't have much to do with it other than the fact that I was just eating out because I wasn't meal prepping, and eating out is a great way to end up eating too many calories, especially because after a fast you crave calorie-dense foods. I ended up just eating too much, gaining body fat. So again, to learn from my mistake, make sure that you prep your foods at home. If you're going to different iftars, it is going to be tougher, but focus on the protein options. Try to stay away from the carbs, the sugars, the oily stuff, the desserts, all that stuff, and just focus on the protein options. If they have a salad that doesn't have any oil in it, no dressing, try to get the salad with the meats. It's going to be best. But the best thing you can do is just eat at home as often as you can. And that was something that I wish I did, or that I made some healthier choices when I did order from these different restaurants, which alhamdulillah, they were healthy and halal restaurants when I was traveling, but I was still choosing calorie-dense options because I was thinking more with my stomach than I was with my brain and what would actually be better for my health and better for my, body composition. So those were the Ramadans where I got fat. And another thing that I didn't do too well during those Ramadans where I got fat or where I didn't lose any body fat was, again, my step count dropped because I wasn't optimizing my energy levels. I wasn't being proactive with going for walks during the fast. And going for a walk doesn't mean you need to take time away from Ibadah. Going to work out doesn't mean you need to take time away from Ibadah. I get these comments all the time that say, oh, you should just take a break from working out during Ramadan because you got to focus on Ibadah. Yes, you got to focus on Ibadah, but why do those things need to be mutually exclusive? If you think about it, working out and keeping your body healthy and energetic helps you to do more Ibadah. Because guess what? If you have back pain and you're weak and you don't have stamina and your cardio capacity sucks, are you going to be able to focus for hours and hours of taraweeh? Probably not. You're going to be tired. You're going to be dozing off. If you don't optimize your nutrition, you're going to be gassy. You're going to be like distracted trying to hold in your wudu. So again, you got to prioritize your health and fitness in Ramadan, but yes, do scale it back, right? We have other videos where we talk about how to work out in Ramadan. So again, scale it back a little bit, but still take care of your health. And please learn from my mistakes. 2010, I completely stopped working out during Ramadan. I literally lost all my gains and I didn't lose any fat at all. So 2010, that was a huge mistake. 2012, I didn't eat enough protein even though I was lifting. So make sure that you eat enough protein as well. 2017, I was eating too many calories from fat, so I got fat. So avoid that mistake as well. And 2021, I was just eating too many calories overall, and I wasn't getting enough step count, and that was probably part of the issue in 2017 as well. So that was also why I failed that Ramadan. Now, 2016 was my best Ramadan ever. I got absolutely shredded while being able to focus on Ibadah. And the key was I kept my step count high, I kept my calories low, I kept my protein high, and I was actually training 5 days a week, but there were shorter workouts. This Ramadan, I'm going to do something similar, probably about 4 days a week lifting, so I'm not taking away too much time from Ibadah. I might scale it down to 3 as the month goes on. I might up it to 5 certain weeks, but either way, you got to have the right protocol for you. If you need help establishing the right Ramadan protocol for yourself to optimize not just your fitness, but also your Ibadah and your connection with Allah, then join the Modern Muslim Man program if you feel this is a good fit for you. We have a brothers program and a sisters program, and the reason why it's going to be beneficial for you is we're going to do a done-for-you meal plan with recipes, everything else that you need to have a successful Ramadan that your family can enjoy as well, where all you guys get healthy and fit. You're also going to be in a mastermind, either the men's group or the sisters group, which is going to be an environment with other pious Muslims like yourself who are successful across all areas of life. Deen, business and career, family, and of course fitness. You're going to be around other people who are just like you, who have the exact same challenges around time management, food, everything else that you might struggle with, who are overcoming it on a daily basis, who are going to help you to overcome it on a daily basis and leverage the power of the environment to be healthier, happier, and most importantly, closer with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if you want more info on that, comment down below with the word M3 and I'll shoot you over all the details, inshallah.